you about the Native Hawaiian voice and the role that Native Hawaiians are seemingly now playing in the tourism industry. There seems to have been a awakening, if you will, by those in the hospitality industry to really engage Native Hawaiian and the Native Hawaiian voice, and we're seeing it at top management level with several leaders of Native Hawaiian descent helping to lead these organizations. What has been your interaction as a Native Hawaiian and being involved in this industry and having to find that balance and those hard conversations sometimes with other Native Hawaiians who maybe see tourism as a threat?
Yeah. I'll start by saying maybe a little bit of a personal experience. When I took the job at HTA in the beginning as a director of Hawaiian Cultural Affairs, I probably got called everything under the sun: sorcerer, traitor, sellout, you name it. I was criticized for joining this industry. What I really got involved with HTA was I grew up in Kailua. And tourism and visitors were always an important part of our business community, but they also were like riding bikes and blocking the road and, so many things. And so I said, I don't want to just be a part of like the people namu namu, they're, complaining and chatting on the side. And I said, I want to be in the room. I want to help make solutions. And that's how I got into this industry. Now, when you fast forward the 8 years that I've been at HTA, that change that we've seen in Hawaiian leadership emerge really was one that was preceded by 20, 30, 40 years of advocacy. But what I think is important for us as Hawaiian leaders in this industry is to recognize that we're not alone. We're an island community, right? Whether you're Filipino, Japanese, Portuguese, whatever, Haole, whatever it is, we do this together. And this industry was built with all of us working together. And so we can't ever lose sight that Hawaii is a multicultural place and that we all grew up here. And as local people, as Kama'aina, that we can't lose that.
Yeah, and what do you say to the folks that Ryan is referencing who really have an aversion to this industry about why this is still a good thing for Hawaii?
Yeah, I think my invitation is to dialogue with us, engage with us. I think so many people just dismiss tourism just right off the bat before they even take a moment to even understand, learn, and engage us. And so my invitation is engage this industry, learn about it, understand it, and then help us get better.